All right, so I'm excited to present this video series. Lee, this is for you and Pastor Russ. I talked to you just recently, Lee, and Pastor Russ about 2 years ago about some of this information, and it's pretty cool, pretty exciting. So it largely has to do with history in the Bible of the different sons of Noah and their disbursement through the world and the countries that have their names and showing where they went to. So I'm going to try and do this kind of uncut and just like we were talking in person. And then I can go back and do a little bit larger video, but for right here, I really just want to do an overview. So starting out with, let me flip the slide here. This video series will study world history for countries and people related to people listed in the Bible's Table of Nations, historical country names, history of people groups, and bringing together current and past locations. Some references from the Bible, from what we're jumping off from right here to talk about. Feel free to read them and check them out. Also, here is a table, the Table of Nations written as a table form, not just in word form, from the Bible. And that is from Genesis 10 and 11, where it discusses the history of the Tower of Babel after the flood and the Table of Nations of the people who were the sons of Noah and their children after them. Now, it might be helpful to print that out and have that with you as you go through any series of studies or further looking at this video as it goes along. There's a lot of names to remember, and we'll try and highlight a few of them. And next we're going to take a look at from Adam to Noah, looking at the lifespans that it records in the Bible, and from Noah to the flood. So here we have Adam going to Noah, and Noah, here is the flood recorded, the year in the Bible, from the time of Adam's creation to the time of the flood. And then you have from Noah to Abraham. Now, I jumped ahead of myself there by going to Abraham. From the flood to the time of the Tower of Babel is where Peleg is here, would be right over here. The Bible records the earth being divided at that point. Now, we'll go into more of the details of the events of the Tower of Babel and the actual, what things are said, and going on to Abraham at this moment, looking at Noah. As you know, he has Shem, Japheth, and Ham as his 3 children. There were 8 people on the ark. And interestingly, another thing to take a look at sometime is the worldwide oral records, histories, and legends around the world of a worldwide flood, and the similarities between all of them, which include 8 people on a large boat with a very long period of time, with the earth being covered with water, and animals on the ark as well, and just some of the different histories, legends even around the world, just noting how many throughout the world have very similar, very old retellings of history or the memories of the events recorded in the Bible. And what makes the Bible different than those histories? as Moses, who God used in Egypt with miraculous signs, the parting of the Red Sea to lead Israel out of Egypt, was very did awesome deeds, and with those awesome deeds and recording of that history, it's recorded also the things that God told Moses, and that as he wrote down those things, the first 5 books of the Old Testament are called the Torah, and those would largely be things that God spoke to Moses about. The Bible talks about how God spoke to Moses as one speaks face to face with another individual. And there was a tent of meeting, and you can study all that out in the Bible, but being a reliable witness to what happened, God was there, and he would know what happened, and he is true, and he has integrity, that he's holy. His words and his actions match. His character he's one. His will, his actions, they all match, and also and that's what we proclaim. And Jesus also referenced Moses, as well as things from the Old Testament, giving additional what's the word I'm looking for, like agreement that this is something that is true and that is to be received as accurate and true and factual. So going on from here, I'm going to take a look at the Tower of Babel, or Babel if you're Australian. In addition, with that, pyramids or ziggurats around the world after the time of Babel, as people were dispersed through the world, and the words Shinar and Ararat, and some of the locations and information related to the Tower of Babel and the post-flood disbursement of people throughout the world. And then coming to Abraham, we have a genealogy of Abraham well recorded in the Bible, and cross-references referring to descendants of his throughout the Bible, and listing family by name of the relatives, tying them in, not just a person's name. You have Hagar, Sarah, and Keturah, who have Abraham had children through in the Bible as recorded. God promised a descendant to Abraham, and you can go back through Genesis 12 through 25, reading the details of that. Abraham and Sarah in the flesh tried to make that promise come to pass, and that involves Hagar. After Sarah's death, Abraham also married Keturah and had sons through her. And we can take a look as we go through where those related countries and peoples are. Here is a chart that if you zoom in, you can also see the same information. Other people have I tried to grab some very well done charts that were clear, and tried to blow them up as much as possible to help out. So some different people, like on this one, dotted lines show spouses, and this question mark has to do with, was Sarah related to Terah, or did she and Abraham have a mother that was related, but they were listed as being brother and sister. In the Bible, there are recordings of actual events, different people who made decisions, who sinned, who did things that were morally, ethically wrong as well as right, and those things are recorded and stated for us, as well as recording history. We also can look at history and say, even until very recent ages, cousins have frequently married each other, where you have family members who were familiar with a certain group of people, even as you break off into from Adam and Eve. You have a close group of family which people are intermarrying, but then also at the point of Noah with 3 sons, those people are also very closely related. And then you have again where Isaac is born and his wife Rebecca comes back from a relative descended from Terah also. So Abraham sent his servant back to the people he came from to get a wife for his son, instead of having him select a wife from the people in the land where God had brought them to. And the people in the land where he brought them to, we will discuss further. Abraham has a list of descendants recorded here. We were just looking at them in a chart form, and he's also related to Lot as well as to Edom, and we'll study that out just a little bit. I've got some things highlighted there to take a look at. There's some really interesting information as you put things together, and both as far as people that are related as well as things in the actual world around us. And here you have the kingdom of Edom, kingdom of Moab, kingdom of Ammon. These are related to Lot. This is related to Esau. Remember Jacob and Esau, his brother. Here we have a area recorded of the land promised to Abraham's descendants. This line wasn't here in the discussion, but it was from this river to this river and the area in between. And if you take a look at what area the modern Israel, which would be the country right here, and the Arab countries, you would see that the descendants of Abraham are in fact living in that area today. Contrasted to the Muslim world, there is similarity and contrast. Sometimes as people are thinking of the differences between understanding, if you're not from the Middle East, what is the difference between Muslim and Arab? As you take a look, you'll notice that Iran is not listed as an Arab country. And if you go back to the table of nations and you take a look at the history, you would find that Abraham comes through Shem to Arphaxad, down through Eber is where we get the name the Hebrews. The Hebrews